Before I found Jesus, I used to do my hair as a form of therapy. And it was a coping mechanism, honestly. I thought of it as just a way to cope with life because there was something so stress relieving about doing my hair. And it's funny because not long after all of that, like sometimes it felt like it was stress relieving, but at the same time, there were moments where I felt like doing my hair just gave me more stress. But today is one of those days I am turning to my hair for an escape, a coping mechanism, a stress relieving solution. I don't know. But I thought about doing that, and I thought about why not record this as well. I want to try and do flexi rods. Right now, I've got braids in, right? And these have been in for almost a month. I will be removing them next week, or I'm supposed to remove them next week, but I don't know if I will actually do that because yeah, it's a lot of work to just sit down. Plus these are mini braids, so it's gonna take a while. I need to mentally prepare. So before I remove these braids, and also as a form of escape, I wanna try and do flexi rods, see if I can curl my hair. I've never done this before, so this is gonna be the first time I'm doing this. And hopefully it'll turn out okay. The vision is there. I don't know how it will work. I haven't watched any video or read on how to do this. I've seen videos before of people doing this, so I'm just gonna try and wing it and hope for the best. Right now, I have this mousse and I have some nourishing spray and I have flexi rods. These are two different kinds of flexi rods. These ones are smaller, these ones are bigger. And I think I've only used them maybe once or twice. I'm not sure. But we'll see how today's video goes or attempt goes. I'm going to wet my hair now in the sink because I don't want to go to the shower. Yeah. Let's just start and hope for the best. I realized I forgot my towel, but I am not getting it solely because I'm already in the zone of doing this. But this is it, wet. Oh, by the way, you're gonna be like my mirror because I don't have a mirror in here. So I'm gonna be using my phone as a mirror to do this and just hope for the best, honestly. Okay, so hair's freshly washed. I want to try and part the sections. I have 4 scrunchies, so I'm going to part using 4. Wait, yeah. Although I want to try and use less. So I think I'm going to part the sections into 4 and then still section those sections. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think actually I want to divide it again. So we have this side here. And then middle side. working nicely. Okay, never mind, it's working. I just hope it's gonna be enough for this. Okay. I debated on using gel. It was either this mousse or gel, but I want to save the gel for when I'm actually moisturizing or curling my hair. I don't see any difference. I don't know if it's supposed to do anything right now. But yeah, let's see. I think people prep. I don't know if that's how it's done. This doesn't feel strong. Doesn't feel like it's holding on strongly. And I want it to hold, but I think it's okay. But yeah, let's try and do that on all of them. I think it's a trial and error situation, so. This is a very wet mission. Okay, I want to try and do this one a bit tighter. Right now it feels like it's really tight, but I'm hoping that once I let go, it's not going to be as tight. Okay, we managed. It feels good. I like the way the sun is. Yeah, I like the way the sun is. It's a little bit tight, but it's okay. I prefer it like this because it feels like it's actually holding. Let's try this side now. Oh, I never parted these sections into like the way I did this side. Just want to try and make them smaller. Okay, so why am I doing this? I don't know. I feel like, well, I do know, I guess. I just feel like there's a lot going on right now. And I think, you know, there's a thing called somatic disorders. And that's often when like your mind is going through a lot to the point where it's taking it out on your body or it's like showing up in your body. And I feel like that's been me lately because I'll be getting like headaches or an irregular cycle. And I've got this bad habit of also like just digging my nails into my skin whenever I sleep, which isn't really good. And also my sleep schedule, speaking of that, is not the best right now. So it's a lot. It's all just like reflecting what's going on in my head. Yeah, there's a lot going on in my life, but I feel like my head is being, it's like more damaging, or I'm doing a lot more damage to myself because of what I'm doing in my mind. I don't know. So, with all that going on, for the first time in a very long time, I thought, you know what? I think I just want to do my hair. I think I just want to dissociate. I'm still kind of, this is annoying, I'm still kind of off social media right now. So I can't really dissociate by going on TikTok, which is a good thing because it's like, okay, instead of watching people, let me actually create something and just put myself out there as open and honest as I can be. This one is loose like this one. I think it's also like the small ones are a bit harder to use in comparison to the big ones that I have. But yeah, This is supposed to be, well, if I end up posting this is supposed to be like a Christian channel where I'm glorifying God in my journey. But honestly, there are days like this when I am here like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be a Christian, I know I'm supposed to be doing all this. This feels like it's finishing. I know I'm supposed to be following God and surrendering to God and trusting Him, trusting in the journey, remaining in faith and everything, but it's like, yeah, I have anxiety, sir. What am I supposed to do in this moment? And I think about like all the videos I've made so far and all the stuff I've done, and I'm like, okay, I should at least be taking my own advice, you know? But I haven't been doing that so far. And that's just leaving me kind of feeling stuck, feeling very anxious also. I remember, I think I said this in one of the videos, to say that I used to be so anxious that I'd just constantly like feel my heart beating, my heart racing, my mind just being like overwhelming, and I feel like I am slowly getting to that point again in my life. And I don't want to get to that point again because that was a very, very low point. But I can't deny the fact that I have been feeling very anxious. And I think I haven't been like dealing with the emotions, dealing with the feelings, dealing with everything that's going on in my mind. I've just been like, okay, I'm feeling anxious, that's fine. Anyway, I have stuff to do. Let me do that. I've got laundry to fold. Let me do that instead. That's what's been going on. And I remember reading from ChatGPT, because like I was asking ChatGPT for like a psychological perspective to like better understand what I'm going through, because I also like psychology like that. And it was like, yeah, this is your way of like having some kind of control. And really, ChatGPT, do you have to point that out, that I've got no control over what's going on? The way this mousse is finishing is making me think I should just get the gel. It's gonna be different though, so I don't know what to do. I wonder if I take it out like this, will it make any difference? I don't think I got that on camera, but I kind of like spilled it. It was way too watery. Yeah, it's looking like we're getting the gel. My hands are very wet. Hold on. I got the gel. It is the Soften Free for Natural Hair Flaxseed and Rose Water Curl Elongating Gel. I don't know, but I got the gel. I love the way it smells. It just smells so nice. So instead of this just being a Flexi rod thing, we're gonna try and see the difference between how the mousse reacts and how this gel is gonna react. I think this gel might actually work out because it works so well with my hair. Okay. As I was saying, yeah, there's a lot going on, and I feel like I don't know what else to do, but just, I know I'm supposed to surrender it to God, but it's really hard to do that. And it's one thing to like talk about it and say, yes guys, surrender to God, follow God, He's in control, listen to Him. And you know what sucks in all of this at the same time is the fact that God will be telling me to rest, and I'm like, sir, are you saying all the things that I need to be doing and you're saying rest? Or He'll be saying slow down, and my husband will be saying like the same thing, and I'm like, what are you guys on about? But then that was something that ChatGPT even pointed out, to be like, because I was like, oh, my husband is telling me to rest, but how am I supposed to rest when I feel like I've got too much to do? And ChatGPT was like, girl, he's looking at it from the outside and he's seeing that you need the rest. So that was pretty eye-opening. And I don't know, I think if everyone is telling you to rest, you should probably listen to them. And I want to try and do that a bit more. Just listening, especially to my husband, especially to God, and submitting and following and everything. But at the same time, it's really hard when you're someone that overthinks and you're someone that, has a history with anxiety. To just take a moment to stop and rest is really hard to do. And I feel like this is why I consulted ChatGPT, not to get advice or put it above God, but to understand the situation better. That's what I did. I don't recommend always going to ChatGPT whenever you need guidance. Oh, this is not working out well. This one is not working out too well. But yeah, it was resting isn't necessarily stopping everything that you're doing, but rather it's doing all that you need to do in small doses. So I don't need to stop what I'm doing. Yes, I have things to do, but at the same time, I think I need to be prioritizing my health. I don't know. Lately I've been feeling very convicted about all that. This is not working out. This one is just really failing to be as cute as the other ones. Yeah, we're just gonna leave this one. It'll do its own thing in life. But yesterday or day before yesterday, I started to feel convicted about this whole resting situation, and it was not in the conviction of how God has been convicting me or how my husband has been rebuking me. It's been, and I say rebuke because it's we're called to do that to each other as believers, to rebuke each other in love, but that's what he did. So I just sat there and I could feel I started having this headache. I've been having this headache for some time, and it feels like a migraine, and then on top of that, my sleep schedule has been super off. So all that just made me sit there and realize to say, oh my gosh, this is a lot. And I tried to do skipping ropes because I'm getting into that a bit more lately instead of doing low impact workouts, because I want to try and I want to try and I know I can't stop being asthmatic. I don't know if I can. My husband used to be asthmatic and then it kind of just went away. So maybe that will happen to me. I don't know. But right now it's I don't want to let the asthma have full control over my life. So I want to just work out in that kind of way. So yeah, I was working out yesterday and I was struggling to breathe and I was trying to rest, and then in me resting I realized to say, hey, my body's actually very tired. And I was asking myself, why am I so tired? I don't even do much. This is not working out well. So I'm I don't even do much. Why is my body feeling so exhausted? And then perhaps God was putting on my heart to be this is a mental fatigue type of thing, and it's showing up in your body. So it started off like that, and then I just spent the rest of the day realizing to say, hey, yeah, mentally, it's getting worse. Things are getting bad. I don't think, okay, this hair is too short. I don't think it's bad that I need therapy because I feel I already know what I should be doing. But it's the executing part that's an issue, because I just feel there are things that need to be done and I need to do them, So yeah, that's just where I'm at right now, mentally and emotionally. Alright guys, yeah, this is not looking good. I'm going to leave this in up until I feel like my hair is dry. Fortunately for me, it's very hot, so I don't think my hair is going to take too long to dry. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. Hence the reason for me just deciding to escape by doing all this. And I highly don't recommend that you escape, but at the same time, I'm just here like, hey, I want to show you that it's normal to be following God, and it's normal to just sit there and feel like you want to follow Him, but at the same time, you kind of just want to escape from life and even God Himself. That's just how I am feeling right now. Because I know if I talk to God, He's going to be like, yes, rest, my child. Rest in my presence. And it's like, sir, what do you mean rest in your presence? But then again, He's God. He knows what's best. So yeah. What I want to try and do right now is just take a moment to, I think after all of this, just seriously evaluate my life, because I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting older. My body is getting older. I need to take better care of it. I remember listening to like the Crash Course Psychology video, and they were talking about like stress, and they mentioned how stress can actually kill you. And yeah, that was a bit of a conviction as well, to say, hey, in case you forgot, this can still happen, you know? You could, like, if you don't stop and breathe, your body will stop for you, or bring you to a place where, you know, you're forced to stop. You don't have any other choice but to stop. And I don't want to end up in hospital or end up in a seriously bad place mentally and physically because I just refuse to stop stressing. No, I don't want to do that to myself, and I don't want to do that to people around me. But yeah. This is hard to do, man. I think my issue with these flexi rods is that if it doesn't feel like it's tight, I don't feel like it's holding and doing anything. And I don't think that they're meant to be tight. I don't know. That's just what it feels like. But yeah, I guess this is a venting session now. This is quite literally a venting session. I'm not going to go into detail of all that's on my mind, all that I'm stressing about, because we're releasing things on the internet one step at a time. You'll find out eventually though, to say, oh, that's what she was referring to. But right now, no, you're not going to find out. All I will say is that life can get so hard. And in the midst of it all, how are you managing it? I think we often forget also that we are human and we need to slow down. We are human and God rested. If we push ourselves so much, our bodies, our minds will give out and probably find it hard to cope. And if we push ourselves disobeying God, if He tells us to stop and we still think, hey, let's still go ahead and do this, even though God is saying otherwise, it's like there's going to be consequences for our actions spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I think this is your sign to just slow down. Slow down, take a breath, and rest in the presence of God. I think of Jonah, who literally ran from God. I feel like I've been running from God just because I don't want to rest. And that's the thing. Sometimes in life, we push ourselves to our limits because we don't want to sit still and listen. And there's beauty in sitting still. God says in His word, be still and know that I'm God. So I think also pushing ourselves to our limits is like our flesh saying, no, I don't want to know God like that. But what beauty is waiting for us when we take a moment to pause and rest in God. I don't know, but I think we're all meeting differently. And plus, there's also times when God puts us in a season of rest because He knows how much rest prepares us for the next season of our lives. And I have a feeling the next season of my life is going to be pretty busy. And I'm going to be looking back at these moments like, man, I should have rested. I should have listened. So that's another reason why I just want to slow down and trust God and rest. And God may be also telling you to rest for a different reason. He may be saying rest because the next season of your life is going to be hard, or He may be saying rest because the war is over. The season of your life where you've been called to do much is over, and now it's your time to just take a breather, enjoy. Yeah. This is one of those moments when I'm feeling like, who am I to be talking about all of this when I'm still going through it? But that is the point of, oops, this is not working out well. That is the point of life. It's a journey, and if I give in to the thoughts of who am I to be talking about all this, I am not going to be raw and authentic with you guys. And this is me being raw and authentic. That reminds me, another thing is that I remember I made a video on comparison and insecurity. And in the midst of not resting, I am not spending time in God's presence. I'm not remembering my identity in Him so badly that I feel like I'm getting back to the point of just feeling so insecure and comparing myself. So I think I think I want to do this one again. It's very, very loose. But when we don't rest in God's presence, we miss Him. You see these white things here? This one? It's stuck, like my hair is stuck between it. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. What did I do? You know what? This was looking like maybe I'll just leave this one. It's not gonna fall out. Because clearly, if it's stuck in my hair, it's not gonna fall out. This sounds like a future knees problem. I'm putting the gel on my edges because why not? Why not? Okay, so this is the finished look. This is the finished look. This is what we're dealing with. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, honestly. I've not done this before, so stay tuned. Before I leave, because I think I want to come back and record when I'm ready to take it out. But before I leave, I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my vent session. Thank you for being my mirror and my help during this time. Yeah, I got convicted, okay? I got convicted for not resting. My husband has been telling me to rest. God has been telling me to rest. My body has been screaming, rest. And I haven't been listening, and I can feel the effects on me. I can feel the effects taking place on my body. And it's pretty stressful. It's pretty hard to accept because I don't know how to rest. I don't know how to slow down. God himself rested, and if God himself can rest, what more of me, a human, needs to rest? What more do I need to, I need to rest. I'm a human being. God rested. Jesus practiced Sabbath. Jesus practiced Sabbath and he rested. I need to get back also into practicing Sabbath and taking intentional moments to rest. At the same time, I feel like I need to get out of my head and just slow down and trust God in all this. And it's easier said than done, but I feel the heavy conviction, and I want to share that with you because I feel like I'm putting a lot of expectations on myself because I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be a wife. I need to be a child. I need to be a child of God. I need to be a leader in the ministry. I need to do this and do all that. And it's like, but I feel like I put a standard for how I need to be in all these areas of my life. And yet the calling on my life is different. So I want to share this conviction with you, share this moment with you to be like, hey, if God is telling you to rest, listen to him. Because it reminds me of how when God told me to slow down and listen and start this ministry, I didn't listen to him and I kept on doing whatever I wanted to do. He stopped everything else around me and brought me to a place where I listened and I started the ministry and I slowed down. And now I feel like if I don't listen again, God might convict me in a different way. Or my body might convict me and say, hey, I'm done, I'm tapped out. Yeah. There's a lot to it and it's hard to do, but it's all about trusting God and trusting the community around you, because they can see what you can't see. And I think also with all that being said, it's like resting means trusting in God, trusting that he is working even when you are not. And also obedience. There's obedience in it all. When you just slow down and rest as you're called to do, that act of obedience will bring out the best in you, or God will meet you in the middle of all that, because I feel like when you're too busy, you're trying to do too much, you're also kind of being distant from God in the middle of it, even though he's calling you to draw closer to him. Maybe he's got a word for you in the silence, but you're too busy consuming and making noise that you don't even want to listen to God. I don't know, I feel like I'm talking to you, but at the same time I feel like I'm talking to myself. So I'm accepting the conviction, I feel it heavy on my heart, and I encourage you to rest as well. I am also going to be on this journey with you. I think I'm going to slow down and try and listen because I'm tired. My body's tired and I'm doing this to myself and it's not right. Yeah, okay, so before I go, I realized that I wanted to spray this on, like here. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but it's worth a try. So let's do that, and then I will let this air dry. Or should I use the blow dryer? No. I'll let it air dry and do something else. I know we just finished talking about resting, but yes, sometimes resting looks different. It looks like taking care of yourself, like this. It looks like watching a TV show. It looks like listening to music. It looks different. I think rest looks different, and rest doesn't mean that you need to stop what you need to do, but also it just means that, hey, maybe do less of what you need to do. I don't know. I'm learning this as I go, okay? Is that too much? Yeah. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I don't think you can see, or maybe you can see here, how this is a lot. But, ooh, it seems to be making my hair shiny, or is that me being delusional? I don't know. I think I'll even put this at the end when the hair is out, depending on how it looks. Okay, so I'm done for now. Okay, we are back, and this is taking forever to dry fully. I'm not here for it. It is annoying, it is frustrating, and my advice to you guys if you want to try this is don't make them too tight, because I feel like if I didn't make these so tight on my head, I wouldn't be so like in urgency, in persist. I wouldn't be so in a hurry to take them out. I tried to go outside and be in the sun for some time, and that, I think by that point it was like maybe 80% dry, and then when I was done being in the sun for about 30 minutes, it became like 90%, and then I ended up using the blow dryer because I had enough. At first I tried to like use it on the cold setting so I can like protect my hair from the heat, and then that was taking way too long, so I ended up using the hot setting and just keeping my hair away from the blow dryer, and then it's like 95%. Right now it's like 95% dry. I can still feel like it's a bit wet, but at the same time it's too tight, especially at the back. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm ready to take it out. So let's just see how it goes, because at the back we're starting with, I don't know if there's a procedure or a way you're supposed to take these out, but this was when we're using the mousse, and then on top here, the middle and the top was when we used the gel, at the back is when we used the mousse. Not bad. It's a little wave. I expected something to be a bit more curly, but it's cute. It's kind of cute. Let's see, what if I just... Yeah, it's not as dramatic as I thought it would be, but it is pretty cute. We'll see. Let's see how this goes. No, that one's just a fail. They're a bit wet. I really don't want to leave them in to dry up. There's also, I want to see how this looks at its fullest potential. So I don't know. This didn't do anything. Here at least it did something. I don't know.
complaining earlier on. I feel like this is not helping at all. But you live and you learn. You live and you learn in life, guys. But it's so...
Ooh, that's not bad. It's so relieving to take it out, so I think I'm gonna listen to my head, listen to my body, because we said we're gonna be doing that, right? Listening to our hairs, and not our hair, but we're gonna be listening to our body a bit more. So I'm gonna start that now by just taking this out. There's no point in having good hair when my scalp is not healthy. I don't know what went on here, but everywhere else is seeming to be okay. So yeah, this morning had a little down moment, but I think I'm feeling a tad bit better now. Taking some time off to just like be okay, or just rest and slow down, I feel like is what helped a lot. So yeah, I highly encourage that as well, to just take a moment and stop and breathe.
If you don't stop and breathe, then your body will do it for you. And that can look different for everyone.
This is turning out to be a fail, or it's just not turning out as I envisioned. I think that's it. But for the first time with these braids, I think it's not turning out too bad. I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. It's not what I originally wanted, but it's not bad. I see a little bit of a difference with the mousse, especially with here. That one didn't do anything, but I don't see like a crazy difference. I think maybe the difference with the two is that the mousse was lighter, hence why the back dried up faster, and the gel is a lot thicker. So because I went through the same procedure with both, the part with the mousse dried up quicker, but the part with the gel didn't, just because the gel is a lot thicker than the mousse. I think that's what happened. So perhaps next time I will just stick with using mousse, because clearly I don't have the patience for gel. Or next time I won't try and let it air dry, but I'll just use the blow dryer. But this is how it's looking. Not too bad. I don't know if it's not too bad or if I'm being delusional. But it's got a bit of a wave. I don't know, it's giving Goldilocks, just like a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm done. I've accepted this is what it looks like. It's not too bad, but at the same time, I feel like it's okay. It looks a bit nice. If I'm happy, then that's what matters. Yeah. And at the same time, I feel like there's something about doing your hair that helps your mood. That's why a lot of people will be sad and then they do their hair and they feel like they're a new person and they're ready to conquer life. I feel
I feel like a bit better. You know, they say you look good, you feel good. I'm a bit disappointed in it though. It didn't come out as curly as I had wanted it to do, but it kind of gave me an idea for actually doing colors. I haven't done colors in my hair since going natural, honestly, so it would be nice to give that a try. I think I'll do that one day, and I think I'll give the flexi rods another try in the future, maybe with the braids again or with my normal hair. But for now, I've learned I'm not going to do it as tight. I see why people sleep with them because it takes quite a bit of time to dry. I think the fact also that my braids, I was using braids, so braids in themselves just like take some time to dry up. So I can imagine them being that in that closed state wasn't helping them dry up faster. But I've learned, start early and have patience for it to dry. Right now, I'm not having that patience. My scalp is just sore. But this is the finished look. This is what we're working with in terms of curls. Anyway, thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed it, please like, please subscribe, please share, and let me know if you have tried using flexi rods before. What advice could you give me other than I need to have patience? And what products would you recommend? How has it gone for you? And are there any like videos you can recommend me watching or something to learn and to like try and practice that on my own? Just let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching. I think I'm done. Bye.